Are you ever in for a treat today? We are doing a vegan take on a spicy buffalo chicken wrap. And this recipe is inspired by one of my all-time favorite places to visit. If you've ever been to Ottawa, Ontario, there is a restaurant in Ottawa. They have a few locations called Pure Kitchen, and they make something called the Liberty Wrap. It is unbelievable, to the point where every time I visit, I make sure and go for a special trip to Liberty, or to Pure Kitchen rather. So we're gonna do our take on this. Now, I want to bring you up to speed a little bit on where we are at in this video, because I've done a little bit of prep work to try and keep the video short, but also show you how to put this together nice and quick, because it is so worth it, whether it's for lunch or dinner. So if you want to catch up, or if you're making it as of right now, what you want to go ahead and do is get your oven preheated to about 425 degrees. You also can go ahead and get a sandwich press or a pan on the heat, because we're actually going to grill the wrap as soon as the cauliflower is ready. Now, what did we do to get this all ready, and how do we get started? Okay, so first of all, we had to make this ranch dressing. Now, you can buy vegan ranch dressing at the store if you'd like. This is a recipe I found online, and I have been absolutely loving it. I'm going to leave it below in the show notes. But when we were putting this together, this is a soft, silken tofu dressing, and there is zero oil in it. So you could put oil in it if you really wanted to. That'll give it a little bit more of that mouthfeel, but it doesn't need it. It is so good. I am obsessed with this stuff. It's great for dipping veggies in and everything like that. So what is in it? Well, you're going to want to go ahead and get a package of soft silken tofu and get it into a food processor or a blender. You're going to follow that up with 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. You're going to go with 2 teaspoons of onion powder, followed by 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. You're going to do 2 teaspoons of salt. Now, I know that might feel like a lot of salt, but trust me, because you don't have any oil in this, and you don't really put a lot of dressing on like a carrot stick or something like that when you dip in it, you're going to want to go ahead and try the amount of salt I'm recommending. You're going to get some fresh cracked black pepper in there, about 1/4 teaspoon. You're going to do a tablespoon of dried parsley. Now, if you've got fresh parsley, go ahead and use it and adjust accordingly. I did have some fresh chives for this recipe, so I used about a tablespoon of those, and I just gave them a little bit of a rough chop, because they're going to go into the blender anyway, so it's going to do most of the heavy lifting. But anyways, help it out a little bit. It'll really turn out nice. So anyways, this is what it turned out like. It is so delicious, and you're going to absolutely love it. So we've got that ready. The next thing we did, just to catch you up, is if your oven is preheated, you're going to want to go ahead and get your cauliflower not only cut up and ready to go. You're going to want to process that head of cauliflower and get it into bite-sized florets. You can do a little bit bigger because they will shrink in the oven. And we're going to make this super simple, because we're just going to coat this in Frank's Red Hot. So easy to find, everybody can get it, not a big deal. Worth noting, at Pure Kitchen, they do bread these, they deep fry them, and then they toss them in whatever hot sauce they're using. But I don't think you need to necessarily do that. It's just adding more oil to the dish, and we're okay not doing that here. So go ahead, get those cut up, toss them in Frank's Red Hots, and then we're going to go and put that into the preheated oven at 425 degrees. Mine are going to come out in about 20 to 25 minutes. Just keep an eye on them. You're going to want to see that they shrink down a little bit, maybe they caramelize a little bit. And you notice that Frank's Red Hot is starting to kind of deliquefy or dry up and leave some of that nice coating just on the cauliflower. We'll add a little bit more towards the end just to get it nice and saucy, which will really balance out that ranch, but the ranch will help kind of combat the heat, and it's going to be unbelievably delicious. So while we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and get everything else ready. So you're going to need to grab a couple things out of the fridge for this one. Probably don't keep your tomatoes in the fridge. I don't. But we're going to get this tomato sliced up. This is going to go on this. And if you are by the fridge, you're going to want to grab a jar of pickles as well. All right, so let's get this tomato sliced up here. And you don't need a ton. I'm just going to be making one here today. So I will grab a couple slices here. And I know they use whole slices apparently, but I'm just going to slice these in half. Get those ready, and we'll put those on the side on our plate here, so we're ready when we want to rock. Now, put that off to the side. I like to get my pickles kind of pre-drained, and because we are looking for actually that kind of salty hit, this is actually one of my favorite things about this wrap, is just like the hit of the pickles in it. So I'm going to use 3, and that looks like what they use online as well. So We'll get that ready as well. And the last thing, if you don't have it in the fridge, it's easy to get together, but this is some carrot that I've shredded. You can buy the carrot matchsticks. They work just as good. These are a little bit of a nicer size. And you're going to want a generous amount. They do use, enough on there that you certainly notice it and you taste it. It gives it a nice little crunch, a little bit of a sweetness to it as well. And then we're going to have some lettuce on there. So it's pretty simple. We've got carrot, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, and our ranch dressing and a little bit of Frank's Red Hot. So we've got about a few minutes left until our cauliflower is ready. What I have is a pan on the stove so my tortilla can get a little bit warm when I want to throw it on. That way it's easy to wrap. And then we'll get it onto the flatbread or the panini press, whatever you want to call it. Then we're going to eat. I'm going to show you what it looks like, and you are going to fall in love with this instantly. Looking good. Let's get this on. I think we're ready. Here we go. All right, let's get this off the warm stove here. Okay, this is what it looks like, you guys. We want to get a decent amount of carrot on there, of course, enough to really taste it, feel the crunch, but we also want to be able to close it, so don't forget about that. We'll get our tomatoes like this. Get a little bit of that. Look how thick that dressing is, eh? Like, just so good. Make sure we have a decent amount on there. Okay. I'm actually going to push these back a little bit to try and dry that up. Okay. We got our pickles, as promised. A little bit of nice lettuce here. Not a ton, because as you can see, we are running out of space, but just enough like that. And then we've got our cauliflower. So let's get that on there. You don't need too much, but you want enough to taste the heat, and obviously the texture of it is really, really nice with this. Nice and kind of cinched out. There we go. All right, let's see if I can roll this thing up now. All right, let's see how I do. No judging at home here. I think I'm gonna go this way. I always feel like the people that work at these places that do this, like, give them lots of appreciation because they're so good at it. It's not the easiest thing. It's certainly easier when you wrap up your tortilla shell, but all right, let's see how I do. That's pretty good, right? No judging. That's pretty good. Okay, let's put this on our hot panini press, or on your hot pan if you got it. We're gonna kind of just crisp it up a little bit, and then we're ready to eat. All right, this is our hot panini pan here. Pan. Boom. Ready? Goodbye. It doesn't need to be on there very long, just enough to crisp it up. So maybe like 2-3 minutes maybe. We'll give it some time, and we're gonna pull it off and see what it tastes like. Here's the panini cam. Let's see. Ooh, I think she's ready. All right, it's off. I'm excited about this. See, perfectly crisp up. Really nice. Let's go ahead, cut into this. Ooh, you hear that? Sounds good. And the cauliflower is already hot, right? So you don't really have to heat it up too much. Oh, look at that. Can you see that? Can you see that? It's gonna be good, you guys. All right, let's do this. Here we go. See if it matches what they do at Liberty Kitchen. The plate here is a little drippy. Let's go. I'm glad that I didn't leave it any longer. Because the lettuce was starting to wilt just a little bit. But the spiciness of that cauliflower with the ranch dressing. Oh my gosh. Now, the one thing I will say is because we did a tofu, the silken tofu dressing, it is a little drippy. So it wouldn't necessarily do that. If you use like a full fat ranch dressing, it would hold up a little bit different. That's really, really good. That's really, really good. You can definitely tell the difference when the cauliflower is deep fried, obviously. This is the healthier version, but you are not missing out on anything. All of the flavors there, all of the taste is there, the crunch is there. So you got the heat, you got the creaminess of the ranch dressing, you know, the sweetness of the carrot, the saltiness of the pickle. I don't notice the tomato too much, but probably gives it a little bit of an acidic taste. But you're definitely gonna want to give this a go. This is one of my favorite things to eat. If you ever get a chance to go to Ottawa, Ontario, make sure you visit our friends at Pure Kitchen. I'm going to go finish this. I hope you give it a try, and make sure you check out the video coming up next as well, because this is one of my absolute favorites that you're going to love too. All right. Anyways, enjoy your dinner. We'll talk to you later.